Saturday night's battle, April 22nd, on the undercard of Rakhimov versus Cordina, saw UK darling Sandy Ryan challenge for her first welterweight title of the WBO sanctioning body. She was scheduled to face off against Marie Hull, and it was going to be a fight between two women who were really vying for a title. This fight turned out to be quite a scrape between the two ladies, and Sandy Ryan proved to be up to the task, as she ended up with a 10-round unanimous decision victory. Let's talk about these two ladies, their fight, and what might be next on the horizon for Sandy Ryan. Championship fights. That's what this is all about. And two women who decided to put it together for a championship of the WBO flavor Saturday night were Sandy Ryan and Marie-Pierre Hull. They came together for a great welterweight title fight. These two women came in looking to best one another for that opportunity at the Holy Grail. And it turned out to be quite a good fight. And skills ended up paying the bills here. We were able to see something that people had a few questions about, as Ryan, who entered this bout as a favorite, but yet unproven, she came in and she conquered. Her record now stands at 6-1 with 2 KOs, and having won a world title in only 7 professional fights, she's on a fast track toward something to be reckoned with. Ryan puts me in mind of another UK fighter who's a little bit bigger, and that would be Savannah Marshall. Not necessarily because Marshall, being a puncher and a stronger fighter overall aggressively, Ryan has a strong physique, but she has technical boxing skills and ability. And they were on display on this night against Marie-Pierre Hull. Pierre Hull was an experienced fighter who's 32 years old, but she came in and she was able to ask some questions of Ryan that we hadn't really seen answered yet. And that was something of whether or not Ryan would be able to stand up to someone who also had a physicality about themselves, quite similar, but just an older version. And guess what? Ryan was up to the task. Now, I spoke in my other video about Hull's past, and she had a fighter who passed away from ring injuries from a fight of theirs. But on this night, she was looking to turn back the challenge of Sandy, and Sandy had the skills to step up. First off the bat, what I noticed from Sandy was Sandy's jab. And Hull, who's now with the record of 8-1 and 1 draw, with 2 KOs. Couldn't do much with Sandy's jab. It appeared that her nose might have been broken early in the fight from the jab or one of those hooks. But the 2 women banged it out. They banged it out, and it was a good battle back and forth. I have to say that the women's division of boxing has improved so much by leaps and bounds over the past couple of years. It has gone noticed by myself, and now other people are starting to come into knowing that when they watch a women's bout, you're going to see quality boxing. And boy, I'm going to tell you, Sandy Ryan put her punches together. That stiff jab of hers was what really won this fight. Marie Holt could not get beyond that jab, and she tried. On several instances, she sought to get in there, but was met with aggression by Ryan with body punching, fierce uppercuts to the body and hooks, and coming up the middle. At a couple of instances, she had Holt against the ropes, and I thought she might get a stoppage because she was bearing down on her. But Holt proved to be a tough cookie herself, and she gave as much as she could. But at the end of the day, the well-trained and prepared Ryan knew exactly how to handle herself in this fight. She went about her work. She kept the pressure on Holt. She kept her going backwards, and there was a physicality there that I could tell that Marie was not necessarily expecting. So kudos to the Ryan camp for their preparation in this fight. Though Holt comes from Canada, she is not a pushover. She is a fighter who is strong herself, and she's built for the distance, well conditioned, but she didn't have any answers for the more technical, proficient Sandy Ryan. As I look toward the welterweight landscape, there are some fighters that Ryan may look toward battling against. One of them very well may be Jessica McCaskill. McCaskill is a fighter who brings aggression. Although McCaskill is getting a little bit older, she's going to have to decide whether or not she wants to face these younger fighters as they're coming up. But I'm going to tell you something. Just like when McCaskill faced off against the fierce fighter that ended up defeating McCaskill and who's now going to face Katie Taylor. And that is none other than you know who. Should I say her name, or should I just wait for the Katie Taylor fight? I'll tell you, I can say her name because she's one heck of a fighter. One heck of a fighter. Katie Taylor is going to be facing the venerable fighter and undisputed champion that we all have paid attention to. And that fighter is none other than, allow me, I'm going to pull her name for you guys. We're talking about Chantelle Cameron. Chantelle is currently an undisputed champion. But Chantelle, when she defeated Jessica McCaskill, she brought something to the fight that McCaskill wasn't expecting. And that was boxing ability all round. That's exactly what this particular fighter in Sandy Ryan is gonna end up meeting up with, that will be very competitive. I don't know that McCaskill wants any of that, but I will tell you this. When fighters who have skills are pitted with one another with the similar opposite type of battle-tested complete arsenal of artillery you get for what the makings of a good quality matchup. And that's what I expect out of these two when they get in the ring with one another. But what do you think? Is Sandy Ryan soon to be a star? Fighting out of the UK, where they love their fighters and put so much support behind them, it appears that she's well on her way. I would like to see more of Sandy Ryan, and she really has a nice style overall. There are fighters out there who you kind of like, when you see them for the first time, you know that there's something special there. And I'm getting a feeling that single loss that she had early in her career is something that has made her rededicate herself. Because it wasn't like she was beaten up badly. It's just that she ended up in a fight that she wasn't expecting to give her such difficulty. And that's exactly what ended up happening, the difficulty. She was in there, and sometimes as a young fighter, you realize you have more to learn. Ryan seems to be on a fast track. And as far as I'm concerned, she's doing very well. Like I said, with such limited fights on her record, the sky's the limit. And I'm sure they're going to find ways for her to get in there and show her wares and look the best that she can doing so. Her last fight was against Anai Esther Sanchez, a unanimous decision. But that single loss, a split decision loss to Erica Annabelle Ferraris, was the fight that made her rededicate. Maybe she should fight a rematch with that fighter just to take that loss off her record in the sense of having gotten the victory back. But we'll see. What do you think? I think that Ryan is well on her way, and she's the kind of fighter that people can get behind. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about Sandy Ryan and her victory. Do you think she is built for the long haul, or will it be a flash in the pan? Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.